All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. Hope you all having a good day so far. I don't know why I couldn't even say that without. All right, hope you guys are having a good day so far. So I had a suggestion from comments, as usual. That's to check out this video from Mike Korzamba. And the title of the video is When Michael Jordan Humiliated His One Biggest Trash Talker. I have no idea what this is about. There's so many stories off the top of my head I can think of that this could be. I have no idea what it is, but what I do know is this video just dropped. So it's this video just dropped this week. So this is a brand new one. So let's see what we got here in store for us. Thank you for the suggestion, as always, you guys. I'm going to link the original video down below in the description for you guys. So if you want to check it out without my commentary, go right ahead. There you'll see a list of channel members, and shout out and thank you to every single one of you guys. I appreciate it very much. Okay, nothing to say in the intro because I don't know which story this is. So let's just check it out. All right, guys, like the vid. It helps out a lot. I appreciate y'all. Let's enjoy the ride.
In his career, Michael Jordan has given us some of the best trash talk moments of all time, but nothing is better than these 10 stories where an opponent tries to step up to Mike and then is absolutely humiliated as a result.
Wait, is he going to cover all of them? He's going to cover all of them? Okay, it's a variety pack. Nick Anderson, Gary Pitt, whatever. Let's do it.
With Nick Anderson, we have our first batch of Jordan controversy because this is one of the only times we watched prime Michael Jordan fail, at least at first, as it often gets forgotten that after his first three-peat and retirement, when Mike came back with his famous "I'm back" message to the league.
Yep.
2 months later, and 9 days following his baseball retirement, Michael's hoop dreams were on the air once again.
Yo, anybody still watch the Dan Patrick Show? I still watch him from time to time. He looks so young there.
I'm back.
He actually played a partial season in 1995, joining the Bulls for the last 17 games, but wearing the number 45 to honor his father, with Mike saying that he wanted his late father to see his last game playing in the number 23. Number 45, Michael Jordan, though, was extremely rusty when he came back. In his first regular season game, he shot 7 for 28 against the Pacers. In the regular season, he had the worst field goal percentage of his entire career. But
41.1, yeah. Yep. We never saw. We didn't even see numbers like that in 2003.
Round of the playoffs against the Hornets, he did have a 48-point statement game 1, and the Bulls went on to win this first round series against the Hornets 3-1. So despite this sped up season, despite some struggles, many believed Michael Jordan and the Bulls were about to do it again.
This is where the hype comes in, because we recently did a video here that was shocking to find out that the Bulls were actually favored to beat the Magic, but those are betting odds, to be fair. But the seeding odds in a home court was vastly in the favor of Orlando. But this is the Michael Jordan effect, everybody. We saw him come back, and we're like, okay, he's not exactly himself, but he's looking better every day, right? Like, so is he just going to peak in the playoffs? And it's like superhero stuff. We got so spoiled with Jordan that basically when he came back, we were like, he's going to do it again, isn't he? Like, even though it made no logical sense that he could pull this off, we still expected it to happen. And then, of course, to continue the superhero myth, he did it the next 3 years, back to back to back. So there's a reason why we have these expectations. But it's just crazy that the sports betting odds were actually favoring the Bulls to win when they were far from being the favorites. They were way the underdog, team to team.
To take the 95 championship and win 4 titles in 5 seasons only. Round 2 was different because Chicago had a new enemy in the number 1 seeded Orlando Magic. The Magic had Shaq, who had just finished second in the MVP voting, Penny Hardaway, who was first team All-NBA that year, and Nick Anderson, who is the villain of our story. Jumping into game 1 of this series, both teams were looking
I was going to say, don't forget about Dennis Scott here, man. And don't forget about Scott Skiles, too. This is a great team.
Make a statement, and with 2 minutes left, the score was tied at 86, and it was clutch time. Penny would score for the Magic. Mike would miss 2 free throws for the Bulls, but Chicago got a stop. Scotty fed Mike for an N1 layup.
Nice.
Mike made the free throw. Chicago was leading, but only for a short while as Shaq got fouled on the other end, and surprisingly, made both of his free throws. But then we had a Tony Kukoc to Scottie Pippen connection. The Bulls not only led, but they got a stop. Now this is Chicago's game to lose, and Michael Jordan has the ball to dribble this one out.
Yep, never seen this before. You never see something like that again. And of all people, it's Horace Grant throwing it down.
Yes, Jordan loses his dribble to Nick Anderson. The Magic convert, and then to win the game.
Yep. By the way, I find it funny that like haters pretend like this was a game 7 or something like that. This was not a game 7. This was not a deciding game. But yeah, this was Jordan, the worst look of that we've seen Jordan have in the playoffs that I could ever recall. This was it. This was it. But they were not supposed to win this series. Yeah. Oh, I see what he was doing too. Oh, but Jordan should have seen this. He should have seen that Pippen was on the move. Damn. Yeah, it is what it is, man. You know me, I gotta call it as it is. This was a boo-boo. Yep.
Mike turns it over. If Jordan had thrown a good pass to a wide open cutting Scottie Pippen, the Bulls probably take this, but instead Chicago not only lost game 1.
Let's be fair, he didn't miss a pass. He read Pippen wrong. He thought Pippen was going to stand there and shoot, catch and shoot, but Pippen had other ideas. He had a wide open lane, it looks like, wide open path to the basket. 8 turnovers. Yeah, that's crazy. For a guy who averages, I think it was like 1.5 or 1.6 per game for his career. Jeez.
In which Mike shot 8 for 22, finished with 19 points, and had 8 turnovers in the process.
Yeah,
but
look
after
like 23.
this game, Nick Anderson was ready to hammer this defeat home. He infamously pointed out the number that Jordan was wearing and said, "Number 45 doesn't explode like number 23 used to. Number 45 is not number 23. I couldn't have done that to number 23." These were mere fighting words for Michael Jordan.
Now, we might have all been thinking that in the moment, but there's no way in hell I'd be crazy enough to tell him that. Like, come on, dude. Unless I'm never going to play basketball again. I'm not saying something crazy like that to MJ.
As he would aim for revenge immediately when game 2 began.
After game 1 against the Magic, Nick Anderson...
Geez, so yeah, that was game 1. What the hell, guys? People acting like that was game 7.
And said number 23 used to soar like a space shuttle, while number 45 revs up but isn't nearly as explosive.
Gone is 45. Back from the Raptors is 23.
I just felt like 45 wasn't natural. I wanted to go back to a feeling I had with 23.
The NBA
Shut up, MJ. You know why you did it. We all know why you did it, man. Come on.
would actually fine him $100,000 for switching his jersey number mid-series, but on the court, the aura was out of this world. 23 was back. He did everything with 38 points, 7 rebounds, 4 steals, and 4 blocks in a clear revenge game.
Yeah, that looks way more like 23 to me. Damn.
Win. Everyone was scared of him. Story's over, right?
No.
Wrong.
No.
Game 3 was tied late, but then the Magic went on a 9-0 run, and we had a 2-1 Magic series lead. The teams traded wins, and then in Game 6, the Bulls were now down 3-2 and needed a win to extend this series. And they were up by 8 points with 3 minutes left, but the Magic went on an overwhelming run and took the lead with under a minute to go. That is when Michael Jordan took the ball again.
Jordan, pull-up jumper inside to Longley. He missed the lay-in from Jordan.
Can I get another look at that one?
Side to Longley.
Yo, I know there's a lot of Luke Longley defenders out there. That's all. That's just a statement. Yeah, I know there's a lot of you guys out there. All right.
He missed the lay-in from
Why didn't he?
Jordan, pull-up jumper inside.
Why does he not dunk this? I dealt with this frustration watching every Bulls game. Why does he not just dunk this? What is this? What is it? And if your hand, oh man, dude, your hand is right at the rim. Just, if you're not gonna throw it down, there is no excuse for missing this. There is no excuse for I'm sorry. okay, I'm done.
He missed the lay-in from Jordan. Can you believe it?
But guys, before we continue, I'm very excited to say that this video is sponsored by SeatGeek. With the NBA playoffs officially here, I want to be watching the games live and in person. And that is why our friends at SeatGeek have you covered. Everyone, not just new users, everyone can use my code Mike10 for 10% off of any ticket on SeatGeek. Sports, festivals, concerts, you name it, SeatGeek has you covered, as SeatGeek also rates tickets on a scale of 1 to 10. Green being good, red being bad, so look for those green dots. And no matter how many times you have bought tickets before, again, using code Mike10 is going to get you 10% off of your order. So what are you waiting for? Open your SeatGeek app, use my code Mike10 and get 10% off of your order right now, because this offer is only available for a limited time. That is code Mike10 for 10% off at SeatGeek. Thank you again to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back into today's video. Luke Long.
Yo, Mike, Mr. Korzamba just tapped into his inner like Mr. Beast when it came to that ad read. It's just high pitched and loud, and it's super excited.
He just absolutely smokes this layup, and
he hit the backboard. Like, oh man, come on, what? He hit the backboard right there. Let me just see this one last. I swear, this is it. This is the last time. Okay, there's the release. Oh man. Oh, it's going the wrong direction. And up. Where's the impact? There, it's gonna hit. Bang. Close one.
This layup, and shockingly, the Bulls, who had several chances to win this series, were sent home, becoming the only Bulls roster from 1991 to 1998 with Michael Jordan playing on it to not win a championship. It appeared that Nick Anderson had gotten the last laugh here. Only, Jordan did not stop here. The entire next season was a revenge tour. The 1996 Bulls would win a then record 72 games, but they also matched up with the Orlando Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals, and Nick Anderson's statement was still burning in Michael Jordan's mind. Chicago would take game 1 in a 38-point blowout. Then in game 2, it was close again. The Bulls were down by 2 points with under 3 minutes left when
Michael on the post up with Anderson in hand. Baseline fadeaway jumper, MJ.
By the way, how wild is it that every season in the 90s, the entire decade, any season that Michael Jordan played, like he was active on the roster for an entire season, they won a championship. The only time he was on the roster and they didn't win a championship was 95, when he only played 17 games. Coming back, it's just insane.
Chicago would begin to clamp on defense, and now, up 5, Mike got the ball, and
Michael in the corner, inside Scotty.
Nice.
What a fake. What a beautiful fake by Scotty.
This time Jordan executed, this time the Bulls got the win, and they didn't stop there. They swept this series and went on to win the championship. This was already enough revenge, but to make this worse for Nick Anderson, Anderson would lose the last 11 games he played against Michael Jordan in their careers. And to cap all of this off, in game 4 of the Bulls sweep against
I was hoping he'd bring this up. Let's go.
Against the Magic in the 96 Eastern Conference Finals, Michael Jordan had 45 points and was fouled late in the game, and as the story goes,
I never forget.
Hold on. Before we get into the story, look at the freaking shooting percentage. Holy cow, what a statement. 6'9", 6'3", 6'9". Oh, shit.
5 points and was fouled late in the game, and as the story goes,
I never forget this, and you can go back and look at the stat sheet. Jordan had 2 free throws at the end of the game. He hit the first one and missed the second one on purpose. And he was like, what the f*** you doing? He got 45 on the scoreboard.
I'm not sure that type of arc can be topped, but in terms of irrational...
That's art right there. I love that story.
I think Gary Payton's trash talk might just be the most irrational of this bunch. To show you what I mean, in the preseason of his rookie year, Gary Payton gave the Bulls 20 points, but he did the unforgivable. He started recklessly trash talking Michael Jordan in the process during a preseason game.
Oh,
Yeah,
Reggie Miller did the same.
To him in preseason. You know, I didn't know that they don't play in preseason.
Right.
So I'm killing him. Had about 21. He played about 7-8 minutes.
So Payton claimed that he didn't know that vets were not trying in the preseason, which somehow gave him the confidence to trash talk a prime Michael Jordan. That is just irrational reasoning, but now Mike had to put a rookie in his place, as he often did. So before their first regular season, as Payton remembers,
He come to Seattle. First thing he get on the floor, he was like, the young fella, he mine all night. And he bust his ass all night. And he's like, this ain't preseason.
MJ wouldn't shake my hand.
This ain't preseason.
He, Michael Jordan, turns to BJ Armstrong and says, "Leave the effing rookie to me," so everyone can hear. Payton then said that Phil Jackson called 6 plays in a row for Michael Jordan, with number 23 scoring at will at Gary Payton's expense. And the final stat line for this one was pretty humbling. In 21 minutes, Gary Payton put up a big time 2 points with 4 turnovers. Michael Jordan owned him with 33
7 steals. Oh my
points
God.
and 7 steals in just 33 minutes played, and walking
33 minutes? Wait, what? 33 points on 33 minutes and 7 steals? Oh.
The court straight out of a movie. According to Payton, the following took place. Quote, Jordan looks right at me and says, "That shit you talking in preseason?" The wild thing is, MJ isn't even mad or nothing. He's chewing his effing gum. This is the real shit right here. Welcome to the NBA, little fella.
The glove. I had no problem with the glove.
Possibly the greatest welcome to the league, you are my son moment ever. But I have a question for you. Why was Gerald Wilkins nicknamed the Jordan Stopper?
Yeah,
a huge nickname, and in 1993,
Stopper.
the Cleveland Cavaliers had a dream. But
This is
before
Dominique Wilkins' brother, by the way.
we get to that dream, if you are enjoying today's video, if you are liking this content, it would be awesome if you could subscribe and turn on post notifications, only if you are enjoying this video though. But going back 1 year, in 1992, they had lost to the Bulls in 6 games in the Eastern Conference Finals. They were only 2 wins away from going to the NBA Finals, and in that series, Michael Jordan went off for 31.7 points per game. So the Cavs believed if they could just stop Michael Jordan, they would win the Eastern Conference, which led to them signing Gerald Wilkins. Wilkins, who was known for his defense, was quickly dubbed by the media as the Jordan
And
Stopper.
that's the biggest mistake you can ever do. Don't publish stuff like this. Don't do it. Don't do it. Unless you hate the team and you want the team to lose, because Jordan's going to punish you. But I guess it's too late to tell you that now, isn't it?
A name that Wilkins embraced. Gerald Wilkins had earned the reputation of great defender by his effort, and he was given the chance to earn his nickname and take on this challenge in the second round of the 1993 playoffs. The Cavs again matched up against the Bulls, and the Jordan Stopper headlines flew. Mike would take notice, and in game 1, the Jordan Stopper and Jordan himself battled back and forth. The end result, 43 points from Michael Jordan, with Mike saying,
The Jordan Stopper had a tough time tonight.
I don't think I need to do anything different. He hit some big shots. I stayed in front of him most of the time.
But Wilkins was actually given one last chance to prove his nickname, as in game 4 of these playoffs, the Bulls and Cavs were tied, and the Bulls had the ball with a chance to win this game and this series when
My mind started to think about all the other winning shots that I've made.
That's what's left in the game in the lower right-hand corner. 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Once I stepped on the court, I had total confidence that I was going to make the shot.
Yeah, you always did, man. Poor Cleveland.
known as the Shot 2, Michael Jordan not only sent the Cavaliers home, but he also dismantled Gerald Wilkins' nickname in the process. And overall in this series, whatever defensive strategy Gerald Wilkins was attempting, it did not work. Michael Jordan averaged 31 points per game against the Cavs again, but this time Chicago swept Cleveland.
Oh, well, he did better than Marley did in the finals when Jordan put up 41.
retired the Jordan Stopper nickname. Now Gerald Wilkins is just known as Dominique Wilkins' little brother, which is lucky for Gerald because in 2025, the nickname Jordan Stopper would have been memed to death. Unfortunately for Derek Martin, we cannot say he got as lucky because our story with Derek takes us to a potentially historic game. On November 30th, 1995, the Grizzlies had a chance to pull one of the greatest regular season upsets of all time. That season, the Grizzlies would end with just 15 wins, and the Bulls would win a then record 72 games, which meant we had a biggest win margin of all time potential matchup. And on this night, it was the Grizzlies who were leading late. History was in the air when second-year guard Derek Martin decided he needed to learn a lesson in front of everyone, as his then teammate Antonio Harvey would remember.
So Derek decides, because there's about 10 minutes to go in the game and we're winning, hey Mike, shit's not falling tonight, Mike. You're having an off night, Mike.
Told you we're gonna whoop your ass tonight. Bill Jackson looks down the bench, like, what do you want to do? So Michael ties his shoe up and says, little man, I told you about talking trash to me.
The Bulls were down by 6 points with 5.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter when Michael Jordan went to work.
Hey, their 72 win record thanks you for that trash talk, because they would have given up this game. In fact, going back through it, there was a Johnny Arnett video I reacted to. It seems like they lost quite a few of their games. Their 10 losses were to way under par teams. So you got to wonder if they were so good that those days they thought they could just cruise through the game and win, but then they got surprised by a hungry team just out there with nothing to lose. And I think this is another one of those days, but done messed up by saying, good game, Mike.
A beast inside of him. First, we saw a jumper, then an insane finish at the rim, a steal, which led to a classic fall-away jumper from Mike in transition. The jumpers were not stopping. Next up, we had an N1 mid-range jumper. Then we had an actually classic, iconic fall-away jumper. And as this game wound down in the closing possession,
and if you watch the video, the last one he made to win
against Byron Scott.
Watch this.
He knocks down the shot. They go up by 6. He turns to the bench and says, shut up, you little
15 points in the last 6 minutes as Mike just turned Super Saiyan with a few words shouted at him.
This stuff is not legend. This stuff, like, this is from the horse's mouth. You know, this is not a rumor. This happened, man. This is a real life superhero.
That is a common theme in these stories. Trash talk brings out greatness in Mike, but what happens after a player scores his career high on Mike? Let me introduce you to Bradford Smith, who on March 19th, 93, could almost not physically miss a basket. On that night against the Bulls, LeBradford shot 15 for 20 with a career high 37 points. That would stand for the rest of his playing days.
That's legit on fire.
After having the game of his life, LeBradford said,
LeBradford Smith walking out of the gym had said, nice game, Mike. And you knew that this wasn't going to go down well.
This was enough to ignite Mike, and with the rematch set for just the next night, suddenly the lead up to this game was almost overkill. Reports came in that Jordan had come to shoot warm-up jumpers for the rematch hours early. His Bulls teammates, Rodney McCray and BJ Armstrong, found LeBradford before the game to tell him specifically that he was in trouble because, quote, they told me Michael told them that everybody could take the night off. He would take this one.
He said, tomorrow in the first half, I'm going to have what this kid had in the game.
So Jordan, 35. So he's shooting for 35 in the first half, man. That's how insane this dude is.
Would then proceed to put on a show.
Jordan scores 36 in the first half.
He just barely did. He just did it. He did it. He made sure he freaking lived. He's just, man, whatever Jordan says, you can just take it to the freaking bank.
Knocking down jumpers at will as he scored 47 points in the rematch. But the craziest part of the story was still to come. As it turns out, Mike just made this whole thing up. He was mad after LeBradford had scored a career high on him, so he created a fake story to hype himself and his teammates up. LeBradford didn't say anything, and still, Mike came after him for his own revenge.
Guys, even if he did say, nice game, Mike, that's what you're supposed to say after a game is over. You know, you shake hands, whatever, you dab up and you say, hey, good game. So even if he did say it, which it sounds like he didn't even say it, like what the hell, MJ?
So really, we cannot blame Bradford there.
Oh, Kevin Garnett.
We can blame Kevin Garnett for what happened to him. As a rookie, Kevin Garnett was straight out of high school, and as his first season went on, he developed flashes of greatness.
Please show the clips of Kevin Garnett telling the story. Please do it.
His first 43 games before the All-Star break, KG shot under 41% from the field and averaged just 6.4 points and 4.2 rebounds per game in 21.1 minutes a night. But in the final 30
rebounds were low.
7 games of his rookie season, he looked like a promising young star with 15.1 points and 8.6 rebounds a game on 54.2%.
There you go.
So KG in the second half of the season was a different player, and he was feeling himself when he was matched up against the Bulls on February 27th. Garnett specifically made it clear when telling the story that he had not slept and was feeling some kind of way because of this. We need to know that going in.
Wait,
we also
who had not slept?
On February 27th. Garnett specifically made it clear when telling the story that he had not slept and was feeling some kind of way because of this. We need to know that going in. We also need to know that J.R. Rider was going off against Jordan specifically.
Yeah.
On the wing.
Yeah, Isaiah Rider was a hell of a hooper.
Quarterbacks in against Randy Brown.
I'm not sure what led to his detriment, because he didn't last that long.
Bryant gets it out to Terry Porter, down low Isaiah Rider.
Man, look at him though.
On the shot clock.
I mean,
and he dunked on everybody.
He's looking Jordan-esque here, man.
Kevin Garnett would remember that as Ryder went off.
Getting back to the goal, I got about 70 people at the game, the hood in here. JR is having a good game. So as we come out the timeout, just I'm on, y'all. I was just like, yo, keep killing that yo, straight up. You having a good game, Joe. Keep going. So as I'm walking off, Mike can hear me. The nigga stabbed me for about 15 seconds. So I start to feel it. There's 2 ways you can go in this. Now I'm in here, I'm on.
Yeah.
This was
he goes on to say like he had the hand on the hip, which is like a classic Jordan annoyed look on the court.
2-point game with a minute and a half left in the third quarter.
He just blocked KG.
I'm in here.
You making a point?
I'm on.
This was a 2-point game.
Damn, dude. Yeah. That's when you know you pissed him off, man. He's making a statement now.
With a minute and a half left in the third quarter, but
Got
Michael
you.
Jordan would end this quarter with 3 straight jump shots. Mike would then not let up at all to begin the fourth, and after a scoring rampage, the Bulls were now up by 16 points in the middle of the fourth quarter, and as Kevin Garnett remembers,
I can't even really describe the next like 6 to 7 minutes of play, y'all. We get 2, not 1, 2 10-second calls. We down 25 now. It was just
Feel that. 2 10-second calls. That's the kind of defense. So they were full court pressing these guys to punish them.
2. Mike had 18. He had like 40 now. JR, myself, we ain't scored in like about 4 minutes.
So a little bit of an exaggeration by Kevin Garnett here, but not much. They got absolutely steamrolled, and Kevin Garnett learned his lesson, later saying,
I was like, JR, man, my bad, dog. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He like, it's cool, man. I told you. Just shut your ass up, man. You're not fun. Mike came down. Okay, young fella. Okay, damn, young fella, damn. Never talk shit like ever again in life.
But here is a new question. What happens when a former teammate goes at Michael Jordan? Well, in the second round of the 1998 playoffs, the Bulls were expected to dismantle the Hornets, but in game 2, things were much closer than expected. And suddenly, down the stretch, it was BJ Armstrong, once a player for the Chicago Bulls, now a bench player for the Hornets, who had a chance to ice the game for the Hornets up 3.
BJ comes off the screen from D-Box.
Yeah, look at this. Ice. Yeah, he's talking trash. Look at him. He goes right. He looks right at the bench. You know what you did, BJ. What's he do? Right at the bench. Right. He's yelling at him. You know what you did, man. This one's real. You did this.
Armstrong made this shot and made a terrible mistake he should have known to avoid. Because as this shot went in, Armstrong, of course, went after Michael Jordan, and Jordan had 2 problems.
Dude, can you guys imagine if Jordan had to deal with the stuff that goes on a basketball court now? Like if some fool's like crowning himself, or somebody did like the little man thing to MJ when he was on the opposing side. Dude, Jordan would just, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. We know what MJ would do.
This was, quote,
he'd take that shit personal.
I felt like BJ should know better. If you're gonna high five and trash talk, now I have a bone to pick with you. I'm supposed to kill this guy. To make this worse,
What was the rest of it? I'm supposed to kill this guy. I'm supposed to dominate this guy. And from that point, I did. Yep. That's from the Last Dance. Wait, he was so happy for me. Armstrong said I wasn't playing to be an all-star. Yeah. It's expansion team. Expansion team who made the playoffs, though. Okay.
I have a bone to pick with you. I'm supposed to kill this guy. To make this worse, though,
what's funny is BJ had a big part in bringing Jordan back to the Bulls. I don't want to say like he's why, but he was like the one who met up with Jordan for lunch, and he was like, "Dude, just come stop by the practice facility, come say hi to the guys." So, and then this happens. Yeah, this happens right 1 year later.
I did not like the fact that BJ was only trash talking when he was winning. Later in the locker room, he would be filmed saying,
I see if all that trash talking starts when it's 0-0 instead of 5-6 point lead. That's the sign of a good man. If you can talk when it's even score.
We know Michael Jordan was trash talking right from the start in the very next game. As now fueled for revenge, the Bulls were never in danger again. Mike went straight to BJ Armstrong, and Chicago won Game 3 by 14 points, Game 4 by 14 points, and closed out the series in Game 5 by 9. Jordan averaged over 30 points per game in the final 3 games of the series. BJ averaged 7. The only thing I could say is at least this happened early, and at least this trash talk did not lead to multiple championships like the trash talk of Brian Russell.
I forgot.
Because back in 1994, Michael Jordan was retired.
Dude, what an epic video. What an epic video this is.
Playing baseball.
The end of an era. Michael Jordan calls it quits.
That's right, Michael, right out here throughout the first pitch as the American League Championship Series began. Was it his father's death this summer? Was it the constant media hounding?
It seemed like he was no threat, and so Brian Russell thought he could go and have an honest laugh with Mike. Russell, John Stockton, and Karl Malone were all going through a workout that Mike just so happened to be in attendance for, and when they all got to talking, Russell said to Mike, "Why'd you quit? You know I can guard you if I ever see you in a pair of shorts." Pause, a little bit of a questionable line. This innocent comment stood out so much to Michael Jordan that he brought this story back up during his Hall of Fame speech.
So when I did decide to come back, Brian Russell sitting next to me, and I look over to Brian. I said, "You remember this conversation you made in 1994 about, I think I can guard you, I can shut you down, I would love to play against you. Well, you about to get your chance."
You had to be extremely careful talking to Mike at any times, and wouldn't you know it, when Jordan returned, he got the chance to prove Brian Russell wrong on the ultimate stage.
2 NBA finals in a row.
1997 finals gave us the best of the best. The 69-win Chicago Bulls and the 64-win Utah Jazz. With John
97?
Stockton and Karl Malone searching for their first title, Game 1 of the 97 finals was as close as they could come, and tied late, Karl Malone was fouled.
9 and 2/10 seconds to go. See the numbers right
this is Sunday. The Sunday game?
Oh, he missed the break.
Yes, in Game 1 of the finals, Malone gave us an all-time choke with 2 missed free throws. Now Michael Jordan had the ball with a chance to win.
Jordan putting moves on Russell. We're down to 2.
Russell's guarding him.
1. Here's Jordan. Yes!
It's so easy to blur this moment with the last shot. But these are completely different situations, both in the NBA Finals, both MJ versus Russell. Talk about getting your revenge and just proving again, yeah, it wasn't luck the first time.
A game-winning buzzer beater over Brian Russell himself.
Yeah, he got him off balance again. Look at him.
A game-winning buzzer
got you. Right there. So everyone who says he needs to push off,
beater over.
He could take him anytime he wanted to.
For Brian Russell himself. You can't make this up, only it gets so much worse for Brian Russell. In Game 5 of the 97 finals, we had the infamous flu game, where Mike either had the flu, was hungover, or was literally poisoned by Utah fans, depending on who you ask.
And the funny thing is I hear people like debate it, and it's like, it doesn't matter. The point is, the guy was like dying inside of his body was dying in some way or another. And he still went out and busted ass.
No matter what Mike was struggling with under 30 seconds to go, game was tied, ball was in his hands.
10 on the shot clock. Pippen banking Hornacek. Here's Jordan. Yes! Michael Jordan!
Jordan connected on a huge three. The Jazz would miss their chance to tie it up on the other end. And now in game 6, the Bulls could close this out and win the championship. And while Michael Jordan didn't hit the shot himself,
checks the clock, 5 on the 24. Here's Jordan. Did not have the shot.
I love that pass so much, man.
5 seconds remaining.
So in the 1997 final,
it was such a good read. And he knew it ahead of time, too. They planned for this exact situation. Beautiful things happen when you know what to do with a double team.
In general, with his first chance to get revenge over Russell, Mike would average 32.3 points per game. The next highest scorers on the Bulls were Scottie Pippen with 20 a game and Tony Kukoc with 8. And Mike also gave us 3 clutch moments in one finals. You'd think this would be enough, but his revenge continued, as in the 1998 finals. The Bulls and the Jazz were matched up again. The Jazz took game 1, and so facing a 2-0 series deficit. With under a minute left in game 2, we again had a tie game.
Guard that.
Kerr, pull up 3. No, got his own rebound. Michael hits it, and Chicago reclaims the lead.
And Jordan would close this game out with free throws. But still, his most iconic moment was yet to come, because here we are, game 6, and now with just over 40 seconds to go, the Jazz are up 3 when
Pippen into Jordan. Michael working on Russell.
Yep.
Now the Bulls are down 1, and Utah was trying to close this out.
Way to go, Mike. Thank you for showing all this.
Steal it.
There it is. There's the defensive stop.
Or from championship number 6. Jordan. Open. Chicago with the lead.
We just watched Michael Jordan take the ball down 3 in the NBA Finals.
How much revenge can you take on one dude?
Steal the ball and make a game-winning jumper over Brian Russell in one of the greatest NBA moments of all time, as this ended a revenge arc and Jordan never passed. He was the only Bull to touch.
Wait, that angle was interesting. And he's not, holy shit. There's a little shove there. This is way more of a gentle shove than I thought it was. He only has like 2 fingers on that right cheek. Shut up, guys. I know you're laughing right now. But seriously, I'm being serious here. Like, this is not a strong push off at all. Like, here, there's nothing. Now he's got those 2 fingers. And that's it. That was it. Wow. I'm sorry, guys. Okay.
This ended a revenge arc, and Jordan never passed. He was the only Bull to touch the ball down by 3 for the rest of the game, and he secured a win. He secured a championship.
Yeah.
His last shot as a Chicago Bull was to win the NBA Finals. Now, as we've seen, some of these stories span multiple generations, while some are nice and quick. And Xavier McDaniel's story is a quick one, but an outrageous one. The 1992 playoffs gave us one of life's rarest moments. A Game 7 for the Chicago Bulls, which took place in the second round against the New York Knicks. Now, early on in this game, Xavier McDaniel had a plan. If he could start a fight with Michael Jordan and get both of them thrown out, or at least get in Mike's head, the Knicks were almost guaranteed to win. McDaniel was quoted as saying, "I had to trash talk to the bullies so we can all gain confidence." And he said a lot more.
And I said something like, "Shut the f*** up." And Michael came over and said, "F*** you, X." I said, "F*** you, Mike." He said, "F*** you." And I said, "F*** you back." I figure if I get Michael Jordan out the goddamn game, we still got Patrick Ewing.
I'm not sure
why. I mean, I gotta say, that would be the ultimate sacrifice if he pulled it off. He got close too. If this would have happened in 2025, this strategy might have actually worked.
Felt the need to test Michael Jordan like this almost on a daily basis. But in return, McDaniel not only got a slap in the face from Mike also scored 42 points in a 29-point blowout Bulls win. So McDaniel's plan worked about as bad as any plan has ever worked before in the past. And the Knicks would actually let him go that offseason. Truly embarrassing. And to end this list, as you know, we have a top tier moment.
Too bad, too. Don't let your view of the X-Man be tainted by that. X-Man was a hell of a baller, man. Tough as nails, that guy. But yeah, that was a bad move. That was a bad move. Because back then, you don't get kicked out, you don't get thrown out of games for stuff like that unless you actually like throw some punches. Because this is the old days. So he should have known. If it didn't work, it was just going to trigger Jordan to crush you.
Headed into the 1989 NBA playoffs, the Bulls had won nothing and were actually the number 6 seed matched up against the number 3 seed Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs had one of Michael Jordan's unspoken targets on them in Craig Elo. And Jordan was used to being guarded by Craig.
Was this Jerry? Let's hear the story. I forgot who triggered him on Elo.
Begun to play games with him. Elo was usually quiet during these matchups. I'm not sure what you can exactly say as someone is cooking you in that way, but Elo would make a grave error in game 5 of this series. Now this was a best of 5, so game 5 was the deciding game here. And jumping into this, we could see with just over 10 seconds left, the Bulls are down 1 and need a basket.
11 seconds to go. In the middle of the floor, Jordan has it. And Jordan puts up a jumper and hits with 6 seconds to go. Jordan hits the basket.
Another clutch moment for Jordan, only on the other end.
Were you foul baiting there?
Jordan hits the basket.
Another clutch moment.
Oh, no, you got bopped. Holy crap, that was fast. Oh, yeah, you got bopped on the chin there, bud.
Clutch moment for Jordan, only on the other end.
Elo will inbound. He gets it into Nance, gets the ball back, drives to the hoop, lays it in with 3 seconds to go.
Craig Elo takes it strong to the basket, and in 1989, the Chicago Bulls are on the brink of losing in the first round of the playoffs. It is here where Craig Elo decides to speak for the first time. Remembering, I was kind of staring there alone with him at the top of the key, and he was in that famous grab the short stance kind of bent over. I just said like, you're not going to score. And he kind of just turned and looked at me, grinned and said,
after he hit his 33rd point, he was running down the court, and I kind of came down along beside him, and he was saying, you can't guard me, you can't guard me.
The inbounds pass comes into Jordan. Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo.
You can't guard that.
The Bulls win!
You can't guard that.
Now, I thought you weren't supposed to be feeling so well coming into today's game.
The shot from Michael Jordan, an all-time iconic moment, and it was here where Jordan yet again proved that this is what all-time legends are made of. As while it would still take the Bulls until 1991 to win their first championship, the seeds for those championship runs were planted with this shot. As we learned in this video, you should never, ever trash talk Michael Jordan.
Wow, what
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you are new to the channel and like today's video, you like the content, please make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications only if you did enjoy the video. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting. You are awesome. We all know it. And as always, have an awesome day and cue that.
Man, what a roller coaster ride that was, man. I went in here completely thinking that this was just going to be one story, and I was curious what it was. I didn't think this was going to be the ultimate buffet of all. Jeez, what a video! I don't even know what to say about it. Like, what did we just watch there? Who is this guy? Who the hell does Michael Jordan think he is, doing these crazy things over and over and over and over again? And how are people crazy enough to have any doubt in this guy and what he accomplished? It'll always shock me and blow my mind that so many people who have no idea how good this guy was just talk trash randomly. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyways, you guys, not much to say. What's your favorite one? I guess that's the way to go with this one, right? I think I gotta go with the KG Isaiah Ryder story. It's always been my favorite. It's probably because of KG. I'll admit it. It's because of the way KG tells the story. It's either that or what he did against the Orlando Magic, dropping 45, missing that last free throw intentionally. Anyways, guys, I want to hear what your guys' favorite is. We'll have a good old conversation in the comments like we always do. I appreciate you all for watching. Like the video if you haven't done it yet. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And be water, my friends.